Oh, hello, hang on, I'll grab my hat if it's in there. Hey, hello, welcome back. We are in the final stages of SUP 12 2025, coming to you live from a car park in Paignton, and we're also right next to this fantastic site, which is Paignton Beach. And as you can see, the tide is high, the tide is building, and we know that it's near to the end when we have the medals.
Oh wow, look at those, how beautiful. Look at these. Champion, competitors, bigger mod. Oh lovely, look at this.
We also seem to have had a bit of an accident over here somehow. It was Malcolm, so anyway, we'll draw a discreet veil over that one, and let's head on down. It's a late entry down there, do we think?
So I've just seen on the water Tanya go out and Paul Simmons go out, so they are the current leaders for this event, and they currently, or we still think they are currently, 3 laps ahead of anyone else in the field. We heard from Will Keatley earlier about Carlo and his involvement, and he's come over from America to this event, specifically for this event, which is incredible news, isn't it? This event has always had international paddlers. We've got a group of paddlers going in the water at the moment, all waiting for those little waves to disappear before they get on the board. And I think they're actually, that is Susanna and Carol, I think they're the group from
Dorset SUP.
Yep, Dorset SUP. So they're paddling together, which is really nice. They've been coming off the water together, they've been making coffee together and having lunch, so that's really nice. They set themselves a 12 lap day, but I think they've downsized that to 10. I think they've realised that they weren't going to make 12, so they said, right, let's do 10. So let's hope they smash that challenge and make their 10 laps, because that is an incredible achievement for people who don't normally do this kind of thing. So incredible stuff from them.
Right, so let's head on down on the beach.
Look at that clock and see what that clock says, because that is that's our official timer, and you can see that it's 4:48, so nearly 5 o'clock, which means 2 hours to go, which is amazing. So 2 hours before this tide comes properly in. The water is looking nice and glassy.
Yes, all those cat's paws have disappeared, haven't they?
Yep.
We are absolutely in the final stretch, and sometimes this is the hardest bit, isn't it? So 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours to go. You still up for the final 2 hours?
Me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right, let's get down to where all the action is happening on the beach here, and it's starting to build up this slope, up the sloping beach here, and in about another hour this will all be underwater, which is quite amazing.
We've got some sandcastles being built over there, I think. Spades, buckets and spades, and bodyboards and...
Excellent.
Brilliant.
There's lots of stuff there. Mr. McDonald, well done. He's still laying out those laps there. Whoop, there we go. So it's really, really tough because fatigue is really kicking in. Those legs are going. Coordination is going, your strength is going, and that's when you fall in. And yeah, it's an absolute pain when you get a bit of a beating. because
comes,
physically you've just been at it the entire day.
Yeah.
So
here comes Paul. Sorry, not Paul. Dave Scott coming in. He's very used to having a little surf on that loco board, so he looks pretty chilled.
He does.
Doesn't he? And he was
it's an elegant
in
dismount.
fifth place, I think. So let's hope he's up there. I think that would be really good for his confidence, knowing that this was the first event he's done for a very, very long time. Nice.
There we go. Is this a red?
I'm going to have a look at her number. 54. That is Neve Lee.
Excellent.
On
So one of the reds.
Board. She's not one of the red Zero to Hero girls, but looking good on that
she
red
knows her way to the back of the board anyway, clearly.
Yeah,
that was very
great
good.
To practice here actually, because these little bumps are perfect for that kind of thing, aren't they?
Yeah, we had a good little play yesterday, didn't we? Here we go. Get on the back, get on the back, get on the back, get on the back, get on the back.
And steer a little bit.
Ooh,
Dave Savage,
there we
well
go.
done Dave. Saved himself there for sure. Well done Dave. Good job. Good skills there.
Yeah, a bit of carving there I saw.
So 53, this is Paul Lawrence here with a pink t-shirt on. I think that's a Race to the Castle t-shirt. And that race is coming up pretty soon. And Eric the Ninja, number 11. Looking good.
Yeah, putting in another shift.
Yeah.
One more lap.
One more lap. So it's now really that they'll be thinking, a lot of them will be thinking, how many more laps will I actually get? Because suddenly when you've only got half an hour to go and your lap is taking you 48 minutes, you won't get another one. So there's there'll be a bit of strategy coming on.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of a tussle about, well, how many laps did I actually want to do? How many have I done? Is that enough? Yeah, I think it is. And then the decision that no, it actually isn't, and they'll make they'll get out there again. Whoa, there we go. And
that's another top.
Yeah,
that's another shirt.
So
it's going through the whole.
More costume changes than Mariah Carey there.
Absolutely, we love it.
It's pretty good.
So that's James Hutchinson with his. I don't know how many shirts he's got, Hawaiian shirts, but that looks like.
He's a Hutchinson, is he? Well, that explains it, doesn't it?
Explains a lot,
yeah, it does. We need to have a chat, but there we go.
Oh, we got some nice little bit of learning there on that Infinity. That's really good to see, smiling away there. And that is number 32. That is Lorna Foley. So well done, Lorna, on that lovely Infinity board. And you've got Matt Taylor behind. He is one of our red Zero to Heroes. Number 86. Well done to those. You've got Pinky Paddles coming in behind. She's just sitting on that board and coming in safety. I wouldn't jump off there. You might be quite deep.
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
it's
actually
all,
not too bad. No, she's absolutely fine. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Well done, Matt.
Well done.
So
there we go, on a lovely starboard there. Here we go.
A couple of hours to go, and number 52. Chris Lambert. Now, I know so many of these people by facial recognition. Now, look at that board. Scarlet. That is Brendan Prince's board that he paddled around Great Britain. That board is called Scarlet, and she has a lovely time because Brendan will often take her out. But he also lends, so Gavin Knox, who came here in year one.
That was his
from
board,
Ireland,
wasn't it?
That was the board that
and
he
year
used.
2.
Yep, so Scarlett has been very well loved and used since paddling around Great Britain. So we've got some more red paddlers coming in. We've got Lizzie James on the right there.
There we go.
Nice skills there, well done.
There we go, just
good job. all got their red caps on, which have been
Yes.
donated by Red for this event. So didn't have t-shirts, they had red caps, and they've got their numbers on their legs. So we've got someone surfing in there.
Oh.
Nice. Whoop. Good job. Yeah, we've got some skills being learned here today, I think.
We have got some skills.
Definitely.
People are
So it
going.
looks like Lizzie and the other lady from the Zero to Hero Red group are paddling together, which is really
That's it.
lovely, isn't
They've
it?
buddied up properly, haven't
Yeah,
they?
they have. So
And I must say that is a fantastic tropical shirt. A gorilla wearing a flamingo
Love it.
inflatable.
yeah, rocking pink too.
John McFadgen
Nice.
would be very, very pleased
He
with that.
would.
In fact, we should probably beg it off for
He
him.
would.
John McFadgen famously was in an isolated forest in Finland, camping by a fantastic river when he saw a number of bizarre inflatables descending the river in the most isolated part of Finland, and with a lot of people having a party on board them. So
How funny! What a funny experience to have. But I guess when you're travelling about like John is, supping the world and going to all the most unusual countries in the world, you are going to see
you're going
very
to see some
unusual
strange
sights.
sights, aren't you?
Definitely. So who have we got coming in here?
Is that Darren?
That's Darren on the left with the red hat.
Yeah.
It looks like quite a few people are buddying up actually,
Yes.
which is really nice. So paddling around with someone else, just giving them a bit of company, making sure that they get to finish, and you know, it may just be that you get that extra lap under your belt because someone has been, you know, kind enough to paddle with you and just say, you've got this, you can do this. So out goes
Exactly.
Scarlett again, Brendan Prince's very famous board, which took him safely round Great Britain, or
exactly.
UK actually.
Exactly. Legend has it that it can only turn right. So
It can only turn right,
yes,
absolutely.
yeah. So a bit of a risk in this sort of competition,
Yeah.
but it seems to have got away with it.
Absolutely. So got someone else who's going to
Here we go.
Nice.
No, keep going, keep going,
Yeah, keep going.
keep going, keep going. Oh.
Neil Painter.
There we go. On a gladiator. Nice,
Yeah, on a
solid,
gladiator board,
solid.
board we didn't mention earlier.
Yeah, solid by the means of substantial and hard-wearing gladiator.
Yeah.
Very, very good
But,
brand.
yeah, good brand.
Only another hour and a half.
Keep going, guys.
Here we go.
Woohoo!
Lifting that nose. There we go. Oh.
Colin Todd there. You could hear the collective
Yeah.
sigh from people, but you're doing all right.
Yeah, the audience participation
Well done,
there.
So we're seeing these paddlers there. Will still be a huge amount of paddlers on the water. No one is giving up. They certainly won't be giving up now, I don't think, Simon. Do you?
No,
Not
no.
at this late stage.
I
They've
think
done it for 10 hours.
Exactly. I think we're entering into one more lap territory.
Yep.
Um,
Well done, guys. Good paddling.
So one more lap territory, and this is the psychological thing that Brendan was talking about, where you just do things in bits. You say, well, look, I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. Where you just say to yourself, well, I'm just going to do one more lap,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do it, and then you just do one more lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Baby steps, isn't
Exactly. And Eric, from the sounds of it, was doing that right from the second lap, I think.
it? Definitely. 100 photos taken with a selfie.
There we go, Pinky getting back in, doing another lap. And who have we got
Jonathan
coming in
Sherwin
here?
coming in on that lovely, lovely Infinity Ever Ready board. Very distinctive with its orange nose.
and the paddleboard also with the orange nose.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that. I had to
Funny.
get. Yeah, I know.
Funny.
They get worse as we get closer to the 12 hours.
Closer to the
Apologies.
End. So, who's this number 49 coming in? Let's check out his number. That is Alex Pitto. So he is one of our red Zero to Hero paddlers. So paddling in shorts all day, multicoloured shorts, doing really well, still paddling, still smiling, having a great time. Bit of puffing going on there as well, so he may well realise that he could just be, one more lap. No, they've got 2 hours. They've definitely got two more laps in there.
So in the course of today, we've learnt a thing or two about ourselves.
Oh, have we?
We've learnt a thing or two about the number of strepsils that we can consume without a bad physical effect. We've also learnt something about Facebook comments, which have only just emerged after a bit of an absence. So we'll just go through some of these. We haven't been ignoring you. The comments just haven't been up there. So we got Bill Griffiths, thanks for coming back to us. Played a leading part in the early part of the broadcast. Back after a few hours, so clear the paddlers are so tired. What an effort, absolutely.
Yep.
The after party on the days of the SUP 12 is not a very exciting place to be. It consists of the odd sip of a drink and then people falling asleep in the corner.
Absolutely.
What's the approximate split between ice-ups and hardboards? That's a really good question.
That's a really good question. Well, okay, if you pan round and just look at the boards on the beach at this very moment in time.
So we have inflatable,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Trouble is people keep moving them.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, say 15, 16, and then that's inflatable. Then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well,
5,
as
6, 7,
Sarah's working out.
50-50 split.
So wow, that's incredible. Who would have called that 50-50 split? Hardboards. We answered that one there for you, Bill. You are very welcome. Tracy Jessica Moore, go Darren. Yep, we've been shouting that all day.
We have been shouting for Darren, yes.
Yeah, yay, go guys. Yep, that is absolutely what we feel. And lovely. Okay, well that's caught up with all the comments. Are you still there? Are you still listening? How much of the broadcast have you listened to? Who are you particularly interested in? Would you like to relay a message to them? All questions for you guys who are listening. And I've got to tell you, this is where you really come into your own, because we've been doing this for 10 hours, just over 10 hours now, and we really need your help. So please ask your questions and just give us something for the last 2 hours.
Oh, yay!
Well, that was well rescued there. So yeah, please leave any comments in there. You will be definitely helping us out there.
Yeah, and if there's, as Simon said, if there's any further questions that you'd like to ask, but having done a quick count up on the beach, it looks like it is a 50-50 split between hardboards and inflatables. Lots of people would have chosen inflatables. That might be the only board they have, but they would have chosen inflatables for these conditions as well, I think, if they were not that confident on the sea. So yeah, a really interesting question, and good stats.
Good one. That's the first one out of our three sessions.
Yeah.
So if you're catching up, I don't think we need to necessarily explain what SUP 12 is. If by now, those of you who've been with us a while, it's 12 hours. Obviously, I'm doing it already. 12 hours on the water. We're into the last 2 hours now. These guys have been out there for most part of those 10 hours. Some have been out there almost exclusively for that time, and particularly our front runners. So Paul and Tanya and Emily and Carlo, they've all been basically having very little time between their transitions when they come in, just grabbing a quick bit of scoff and a drink of water, and then they've been just straight out there on the water. You'll notice earlier on this beach was absolutely open all the way down to those yellow buoys. There we go, all the way down to those yellow buoys. Now the water's filled in the gap as we head back to high tide, which is where we started and where we'll end this whole period.
2 hours, and I think these paddlers will be relishing in these calmer conditions. You can just see from that shot there how much glacier it is. That wind has completely dropped off. Yeah, you've got a swell, but that's so much easier to deal with without that wind pushing you across constantly when you're paddling from left to right along this beach. And that has got to be a 2 kilometre stretch. It's got to be almost 2 kilometres from east to west, which, you know, if you've got that paddling on one side malarkey going on, it's tough going, really tough going. So they will be loving this sort of calmer seas. The wind's dropped and the rain did not arrive, which we're really grateful for. And we've still got board butlers, we've still got the head honcho on the beach, we've got people still watching, lots of people watching, and lots of people up by their stations. You can see it looks a bit of a mess up there.
Which it would be after 10 hours of, but still remarkably tidy, bearing in mind how many Haribos and bananas have been eaten.
Banana skins. And they've got about 1.5 metres each little area, so enough space for a chair and a cool box basically.
Exactly.
Which is great. So they all got themselves here very early this morning. 6 o'clock they were setting up their little stations. Everybody, you know, a lot of people wanted to get that ideal spot.
Yeah.
Paul Simmons was right in that corner where you get off the water. Others wanted to be a bit further down. So it's interesting to know why they wanted to be there, where they wanted to be there. They're doing, and they've got friends and family sat on their station.
Yeah, and the occasional dog as well.
Lots of dogs actually. Yeah. So we just have to watch our feet now because that tide is creeping in all the time, isn't it?
Exactly. So if you can leave in the comments, are you hearing us okay? How's the microphone doing? Are we still comprehensible? Are we still making any form of sense?
Were we ever making any form of sense?
Were we making any sense in the first place? Please let us know, and in the comments there, we would greatly appreciate that.
I think from this moment on we start to get a little bit giddy, don't we?
I think we do.
Because we can see the end in sight, and it's been such a, you know, once you've done this, you know, we've done this is our 3rd year running, and we build up to this great event. We know it's going to be a challenge, but we just love it so much, and we're so invested with Brendan for this race and his other races as well, and it's just great. But yeah, last 2 hours we're going to get giddy. It's
good vibes only, and I've only done 2 of my fascinating facts about Paignton so far.
Can we have another one?
Can you remember what those were?
One was Pudding Gate.
One was about puddings, yes.
And the other one was, oh, I do know. Give me a hint.
About the favourite cinema seat.
Oh yeah, Agatha Christie, 2-2. Her favourite cinema seat was row 2, seat 2.
There you go. So
yeah, local ground. She used to come to the cinema at Paignton.
There you go. So you are very welcome, people who are listening to this. You can amaze people at parties with your knowledge of Paignton now.
Could come up in a quiz, pub quiz.
Yeah, well, I've got another fascinating fact for you. Okay,
so
as we all know, Torbay in general is a UNESCO geopark, and it's got so many geological formations, different types of rock formations and so on. I mean, I know that you're a big geology fan yourself.
I do love the rocks around here.
Yeah, they're really good. So this beach is sort of quite red coloured, and the cliffs over there are red. You probably can't see them very much, and that hotel's called the Red Cliff for a reason. But those red cliffs were formed back at a time where there was only one continent on the Earth. So there's one central continent before all the continents sort of split out. And at that time, Torbay, this very area, was round about the equator, and it was experiencing the conditions of the Sahara Desert does now. So it was the time when Torbay, when Paignton was actually a desert.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Well, there you go.
That's a fact and a half.
That's a
that
factoid,
one.
I think.
That is a proper factoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Definitely. So we've got Carlo going back in there for another lap. He's going to get at least, I don't know, 3 more laps in. So
he's still looking just ridiculously smooth, isn't he?
Peachy, absolutely peachy. Bear in mind, he started after other people. I think he was paddling out, and I think I possibly said, "Who's that young lady paddling out at the end?" And I think it was Carlo actually. So he's flown all the way over from America to participate in SUP 12. It'd be lovely to have a chat with him and see
how he's enjoying it
and how he's got on. I think he'll be stoked with second place, because I can't see, unless something goes wrong, and that looks like Paul paddling in as well now. So they're actually crossing over, and what does that mean? Is Paul catching him up for to overtake on to be 4 laps ahead? Who knows? It's an incredible paddling showcase
exactly
for Paul, actually.
Yeah, he's just incredible, and just the consistency between laps. I mean, he is human, and he has. The last few have reduced in terms of. Oh, here we go.
Simon, do you need anything?
It's very.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm not. No, I'm all right, thanks. Thank you. Here he goes, the leader, the undisputed champion to be. He's got a varied selection of different kit there.
Gosh, doesn't back that very. Oh, what is that? That's a flask.
It's some. I don't. Who knows? Will he?
He's got a cold. He's got a cold. He's got having to go to the loo. Oh, this is going to get really, really interesting. These last few laps.
Yeah. Well, we will spare his blushes, and we won't sit outside the loos waiting for him to come out.
We won't do that. Look at this site over here, Simon. Just pan round and just see how beautiful it is over towards Tor Bay, and that view with the red cliffs, as you say, and the paddlers. You can just see them in the distance going towards the corner of that cliff, and that beautiful sky. It almost looks like a painting. It is really, really beautiful, isn't it? Just being down by the ocean and enjoying this view.
Exactly. It's a stunning day down here. Another real triumph. I think we can sort of start summing up, I guess. I mean, how long? We've got an hour and a half left. That gives us enough time.
Hour and 50 minutes, I think.
An hour and 50 minutes. Okay. It's really flown today, hasn't it?
It always does, actually, because Simon and I, year one, we had copious. We had a whole book full of notes, didn't we, in year one?
Yeah. And
we didn't actually refer to any of it at all.
No.
We've downsized it to about 3 sheets this year, and we've actually used the book quite a lot.
We have.
So, really good to be able to shout out the sponsors, especially, and trying to remember all of them and who they are could prove to be quite difficult. So, I'm going to just, if it's all right with you, I'm going to run through the sponsors. Hotels. Hampton by Hilton, main sponsor for this event and other events. Redcliffe, Mercure. We've got Shorties. We've got Mark here, who is always super helpful with all the t-shirts and the branding.
Really supported all of the events. So yeah, if you do buy a t-shirt, please buy it from Shorties. They are fantastic.
We've got Oscar Propulsion with that new slitted blade paddle that they are now producing. Their website is going live today. Here's Tanya coming in. She will be very aware of the time and looking to get as many laps in as possible. She'll know exactly where she stands, and that is a beautiful board. Red Equipment have been supportive not only of this event but of the 6 paddlers who are doing a Zero to Hero award today. We've got Biomate, who is the cleaning product brush system, and that's to help keep all those nasty invasive diseases off your board, basically.
Yeah, we spent a bit of time, didn't we, with Louise from Biomate back. Look at that.
Off he goes again. Yak, who have been ongoing support for Brendan, so they are PFDs and dry suits and bags, brilliant kit, very well made. Devon Rum, always thank you to anyone who makes rum. Torbay Council, of course, we talked about that earlier, about how important it is to have those sponsors on board, but also the council who make these things work, basically. ResTube, who are the people who've provided all the yellow buoys for this event, and the safety. They are the safety partner for this event and other events, which is cool. Let's just see who this paddler is, number 21, and we can give him a shout out. That is Sam Cheney from Brixham, so he's a local lad, which is good to see. Well done, Sam, good job. Paddle UK, who are a huge part of this event and will be a huge partner for Brendan going forward to Super Champs and then on to the ICF SUP World Cup, which is being held here at the end of June next year. So please, if you want to get involved in that event, maybe get involved in the Super Champs in September, and get to know the locality and the hotels are the best place for coffee and pasta and whatever. So well done, Tanya, good job. Blackfish Paddles, which I know sponsor Brendan, and he took one of their paddles all the way around the UK, so and it didn't break, so he had it for a long time. Virtue, who are his car sponsor, so they provide him with lots of transport to get around and do all the good things that he's doing. That is Sarah Marshall coming in on that infinity board, so nice bit of surf skills there coming in. SUP Services, who are the people who mend boards, so if you've got an inflatable that has popped, take it to SUP Services, because for sure they probably will mend it. They do not want to see these boards in landfill, so please contact SUP Services. We know that they helped Sean from Soap Lifestyle when all his boards washed into the sea and got broken, and they've all been mended, so really good services. Bayes Brewery, another drinks company, so always nice. They've got some fantastic beer going on there. Maxtrack.com, who are the suppliers of Infinity boards, McCarthy and Pro Direct, and last but not least is the boardroom, and that is situated at the Hampton by Hilton, isn't it? And it's going to be an open space for businesses, coffee shops. Well done, keep going. You keeping going? Nearly done, you're so close.
Just well one more lap.
So a huge amount of support for this event, and as Jordan said just earlier, you know, Brendan has gained this reputation for doing good things and being proactive, and therefore he can, you know, sponsors are more likely to talk to him. So number 8 just going out now is part of the Barry crew, the team of 4. And this is the man who's probably got the least experience of these kinds of conditions, but his lap times were going up apparently, so or his speed was going up, so really interesting to see that in a situation like this, where you would think that you'd be getting more tired, but actually you are becoming more inspired to get the damn job done. So that will be his last lap, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll pull out a really good lap.
Yeah, once more with feeling. It looks like he's really digging in. And the effects of fatigue, you know, particularly if you're not a really experienced paddler, if you don't do this day in, day out.
Well done, Kate. Good job.
It has quite an effect on your legs. The legs will be quivering now.
Absolutely. There might be no walking tonight. People will think we've got 100 drunk people on the beach, but actually they just can't walk.
Yeah.
So you're really good for their sea legs. Goodness me, they are going to have some. There's going to be some more interesting walking tomorrow and the day after, actually. But
exactly,
they've done incredibly well, and actually some of them who have had to kneel a lot, I cannot imagine the state of their knees. That really makes my toes curl, actually.
Yeah, I'll have to sort of rub some life back into their feet.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse, really.
So this is Richard Fry.
That's a good job showing off the touring
Yep.
board to the max. Those straps, aren't they fantastic?
Smiling away. Good job. Well done, Richard. Good job.
There we go.
And the sun is making an appearance. Look at that. As if by magic, it looks like we're going to have the most beautiful evening here at the end of the competition. And it is a competition. It is a race. It's a 12-hour event, but it is a race in effect. So we're going to have winners. We're going to have winners in each category, and we're also going to have age category winners, which is something very close to my heart, being slightly more mature. We like we like everybody of every age to get a gong if they can. So
yeah, and but Paul looks like he's going to win the overall prize, isn't he? He's for the second year running
for the boys. Yeah, definitely.
And just a really dominant performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to have a little look at the scores. Scores on the doors if I can find them. Yeah, so Paul has done currently 24 laps and Carlo has done 21. Yeah, Paul has done over 10 kilometres more than Carlo. And for the girls, Tanya has done 21 laps and Emily King has done 17. So, oh my goodness, Tanya has done almost 14 kilometres more than Emily King.
That is quite amazing. And actually, Tanya isn't far away from Carlo's figures. 73.5.
Oh, so level pegging for Tanya and Carlo actually, and that just shows you what an amazing athlete.
They're on the same lap. That is quite amazing.
So let's have a look at second and third place. So it looks like Carlo is very well in second place for the boys, and then we've got a bit of a tie for Gavin Simmons and Kieran Ravel. So they're both on 63 kilometres on lap.
And there are
18.
And there are more as well. There's two more, all on the same lap. Paul Drake, Dave Scott, all on the same mileage.
How exciting!
So this is where one more lap really kicks in.
Yeah, and for the girls, it's completely different. They are all there's no
out.
ties. They're all spread out. So for the boys, it's going to be very, very exciting to see who actually gets that
third place.
Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. But yeah, the third place, which is what you get a medal for. Gosh, it's a grind, isn't it? It's a real grind for them.
It is a massive grind, but those laps are still going on. They are still converting them into completed laps. Is 4:04 back again?
Oh, Paul Drake.
So let's just watch that second group of blokes in and just count them in. So we've got Paul here, who's part of that group, isn't he?
Yeah, let's find the scores.
Because they're all having their own private battle.
Yeah, so Paul Drake is currently lying in fifth place. The thing that differentiates them at the moment is the time.
Yeah.
So he's lying in fifth because his time is a little bit slower.
But laps wise, it's a game of laps, isn't it?
Yep.
So we just need to identify who of these is also a member of that crew.
Yep. Chris McDonald. He's just not in the top 10, Chris. But yeah, let's keep an eye on them. This is Emily King coming in here.
So second place and absolutely relentless. Second place to Tanya, but Tanya is nudging second place overall.
Absolutely, yeah. Very elegant dismount there.
There we go. Ooh, lovely. There we go. A bit of professional board butlering there.
Well done, Emily.
Summing up a woo-woo-woo at this stage is brilliant.
Absolutely. Some very dry people here, haven't we?
I know.
Really dry people and some wet people. So yeah, Paul Drake is just about to get back on the water. Oh, I could just imagine the pain of the legs.
Yeah. So because supping is a pulling sport rather than a pushing sport, it's all about, you know, the back and the glutes. Yep. And, you know, the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the lats. It's a tough old route. Here's Ali.
Julia.
Sorry, Julia.
Yep.
Been operating without my glasses all day.
Well done. Oh, well done. Good girl. Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to be grinding down that nose. Here we go. Here's the tandem, boys. Look at them.
They're squeezing these boards up, aren't they?
Well, it's going to get even tighter.
Yep.
And it may well be that they'll need to take a decision on who needs to take them out properly, because in the next half an hour, there won't be any room for this, and then it'll be the board butlers will need to be dragooned out here.
I also think it'll get a little bit more furious down here when people are trying to get that extra lap in.
Yeah.
So just bear in mind, when we get to the 12th hour or we get to the end of the race, there can be 1 second left, and if someone has got the ability to get their foot in the water and be off on their next lap, they can do a whole lap more, which could be the difference between third and fourth. So that is going to be a really interesting time. Whether we'll be able to keep our eye on it live as it's happening here, I think we'll know by the pace of some of the run, you know, when they're running, and are they trying to get that last lap. But it happened last year, I think, with Dom Moore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could happen again, and it will be really exciting. Here's Glyn Smith coming in on his Nisco.
Look at that, ninja skills. Paddle twirling.
He's a great whitewater paddler, is Glyn. He loves it, and he's got some really, really good skills. But he does love to race and does love to put himself out there. Now, Dave Scott
Dave.
Here is definitely up there and thereabouts.
He's up there in that group, isn't he?
Yep. He is in 6th place.
Well done, Dave. Keep grinding them out.
Keep going. You're so close. You're tied for 4th.
There you go. You're giving the Hutchinson name a good go here. That is James Hutchinson.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Are you getting some reinforcements? Are you getting some reinforcements? Yeah. What's that?
Hi.
So having looked at the refresh the page, we've got 2 men in 3rd and 4th who are ahead of 5th and 6th. They've just jumped up 66.5 kilometres done. Yeah, so
Well,
we shall see
okay,
what happens.
so
And that's Paul Drake and Kieran Raval. Yeah.
so we need to keep an eye. So number 69.
Number 69. Yep.
There we go.
So there goes Emily King on her brand new All-Star.
There we go. Fatigue really a thing for everyone here, and we are running out of beach. We are gradually being shunted back, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And
yeah, really.
more
going back,
importantly,
actually.
there needs to be a bit of board management. So starting to see the 1,000-yard stare coming in. Not far to go. Sorry? Well, yeah. Not a bad idea. Yeah, it's all going.
One to watch for the future.
Dave?
Abigail Bevan on the right hand side.
Oh, right. There we go, the reinforcements coming down to the beach here.
If I could, I don't know. It's a hell of a long time, yeah. I'm quite happy that I'm going to just sort of have a little, Emily.
There we go, Susanna
She's fine. She doesn't need
getting there on her beautiful starboard. Tura.
Yeah. She's still going strong. So, yeah.
Very, very good.
Oh yeah, she'll be a little while. There's a white one like that they're in and out. It's a relay team.
And the beach is really getting crammed now. And the likelihood is people will only go out for one more lap.
Good. She's just trained so long and so hard for a year, but it's only been really
given a lot of detail.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, no.
I just know.
See you later.
There we go, so we've doubled the full butler.
Yep. Good.
We may need to swap over cameras, phones very shortly.
Okay. Yep.
And that will lead us very nicely
into the end. Yeah.
The end.
And then we can get to chat to people.
Yeah, I think we can get to reset. So apologies if you have left anything in the chat and we haven't responded to it. It's misbehaving a bit. probably through overuse, I would say. Facebook Live has said to us today, yeah, not suitable for 13-hour events.
Yeah.
But with an hour and a half to go, I think we're probably going to change cameras now. So all of you who are watching us now, please give us a few more minutes, and we will. Oops.
I'm not sure this is charging.
Watch out.
Oh, sorry. I'm not sure this is charging.
Alright, okay. Yeah, I need to swap over the unit. I've got another one.
40%, so...
Right, okay. So, yeah, so we'll give it another 5 minutes and then we'll swap over. Actually, if we make our way over there and then we'll get it on the other device. Right.
For the coffee. Welcome.
The Broad Butlers are back in action. Here we go, one more lap. So, an hour and a half left. Well, let's say 2 hours, because it goes for 2 hours, doesn't it, afterwards?
Absolutely.
And Tanya's doing very well.
She's doing fine, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think standing in about second place overall at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think. Carlos is still 5 minutes ahead.
Well, we'll see, but superlative performance again. There we go, it's a quick chat with Tanya's dad there, who's come down and supported her, and she's just been absolutely unbelievable today. So, big props to her.
It's one thing if you're part of the team.
So, right, so here we go, this is the studio. Right, okay, I think we're probably going to just finish now and we will change over cameras and then we will come back to you for the last
hour and a bit. Let's have a look.
Hour and a
Double
bit.
check the time. Hour and 20 minutes. Right, you got to be
minutes.
here. You got to share. When we go live again, please share the link because the last hour and 20 minutes is going to be fabulous.
Pure
isn't
drama.
it? Yeah, it will be, especially in the
Just
men's.
from me, but also from the paddlers and everyone else. It is an exciting time as people reach the end and that fatigue really.
Absolutely,
really
and they're
kicks in.
racing for that last lap. So, yeah, we'll be back.
Okay.
5 minutes.